good evening. Oh, good morning,
My
brothers and sisters. How you doing? Just to show up as usual, it's really nice, Well, what do they say? Let me just forget. Today, I came with this idea of about a very good thinker, amazing thinker. This German man called Max Weber. Okay, it doesn't mean Mokonnen or Moke. It means Max. Okay, it's a Germanic name. So this man is he did a lot of research. He was a politician into sociology. He's a German man. I think he was born in Frankfurt. He's a good research on his theory about spiritual slavery and economy, patriotism, not patriot, patriarch. It's like that. So he said it's really amazing, man. I already knew so many long years ago about this idea of the caste system and predestined course that you are supposed to be a slave. You are cursed, mouth. You ancestor. This is that justification of this Indian caste system. Marvel, you are predestined to be a slave. That kind of mentality, okay? And all this Jewry seeking to be a master. Wherever you are, you have to be a master. These all Africans, they have to be slaves. So as I have been saying all this for so many years, Moses is an Eritrean motherfucker, okay? When I say Eritrean, the Pharaoh land in the past used to be ours, okay? Then later, all these Macedonians and Albanians came from during the Ptolemaic, all this Alexander the Great. Then they came to Egypt. They settled with us, So they wanted to be pharaohs, but we are the original pharaohs of Africa, okay? So there were a lot of Jewish people after the Ptolemies, the Romans, have driven all these Jewish people, they were using them to build, dams in Greece. Some of them around 9,000 or 6,000 slaves from the Masada massacre, when the Jewish state got controlled by the Romans, and they were slaves all these years, okay? So that religion has made them to endure and persevere, okay? So it's all about Eritrean history, African history, whether you call it Ethiopia, Eritrea, Nubia is us, okay? The ancient pharaohs, okay? We are dispersed everywhere. So it's our history, my friend. It's not about Judaism, okay? It's just Moses himself was an Eritrean. He married a black lady, okay? So this is European immigrant who came from East Europe, to us again. It's really amazing. This spiritual slavery is you try to control people the way they think. You lock them, okay? Systematically, you try to control them by faith, by religion. So they develop this idea. They are pretty destined to be slaves forever, okay? Where are all these East European immigrant Jewish people, very educated people, come there, they say, hey, yeah, my friend, have you read the Talmud? Have you read the Bible? It says about us, my friend, okay? You are predestined to be a slave, okay? So they give you all this Jewish believe, all that kind of stuff, okay? So we have to be extremely very, very clever about this, all this slave trade in the past, my friend. Well, this is not about anti-Semitism idea, but hey, we have to protect, because when they annihilate all these Palestinians, Arabs, they're gonna jump to us, we are more easier prey, because we have all this kind of common phase, or this Abrahamic religion, like, King David, my friend, and him and his sexuality, homosexuality with the Jonathan, okay, Saul's son, okay. So they want to come because they want to justify the Bible, the Talmud, that we are predestined to be slaves, okay. So they, well, in what I believe, my friend, I believe, like, God seen Eritrea as a paradise, which is a paradise, my friend. It's heaven. Our country is heaven, okay. There is no dispute. You cannot dispute this, okay. We are a people of heaven, a paradise. Our climate, our weather, our vegetation, the air, the sea, pristine, pure sea, clean air, my friend, pure-hearted people. We are the paradise, a living paradise, not a dream of the paradise of this jury of this Zion. Like, by the way, like, I'm not trying to be like this Rastafari or this Zion in a dream, my friend. Fighting to achieve it and to live in it. Like, we achieved it and we're living in it, my friend. So we have to conserve our independence, okay? Our free thinking, our unshakable self-confidence. That's what we are, Eritreans, okay? So all this bad crap, all this, like, we are Jewish Zionism, it doesn't exist, man. We are the paradise, okay? All these touristic people coming to Jerusalem, just all this economy, my friend, the whole world go there. All these Jewish people, they become rich so that people go there as kind of this pilgrimage to make money, okay? But we, Eritrea, that's our land, paradise on earth, okay? So God seen it, the paradise, my friend. He created Adam and Eve there. My goodness, they were making love to each other in the jungle of Eritrea, my friend. Passion. They created beautiful creatures as, my friend, okay? So that's our paradise, okay? So this Zion idea, they call this Chinese or this Japanese, like, it's Zen, like all this meditation, my friend. These are people from high mountain area, okay? So they meditate, my friend. So from that became Zion. Shall we say, like, well, I'm just trying to have a fun of it, like, And in Israel, they don't have that kind of mountain paradise like Eritrea, my friend, okay? So the only thing they got is a Zion, little mountain, like maybe how many? 200 meters above the sea level. So they got Zion, my friend. A nation of always living on high altitude, high moral high moral ground, my friend, okay? Always on high five kind of thing, okay? And you got all this Rastafari, my friend. Zion, my friend, okay? Or the cannabis, my friend, living the dream. Whereas we Eritreans, we live in, my friend, not in a dream, fighting to keep it, okay? Okay, so that's not that Zion in Zion in Israel, real paradise in Eritrea, okay? So this belief, my friend, this Jewry, they got very kind of this idea to create an instability, especially in Eritrea, to create a civil war. We Eritreans are very laid back, very stable, very peaceful people, like, whether you are Jewish, ancient believer, animist in the Kunama area, Gashbarka, a Christian, a Muslim, we are always very stable people, my friend, okay? We don't have no animosity towards each other because based on religion, we accommodate everyone, okay? We go all this blessing water, we call it my like, we, the Christians, the Muslims, every believer goes to them, my friend, okay? And they got this patron saint, it could be like, my and Urael, maybe like, Gabr, or like, Michael, Saint Michael, Mary, Abnaraga, whatever it says. These are saint patrons, and all the Muslims, my friend, all these Kunama, all the Christians, all of us, we go there, okay? So our mosaic of culture is very stable, okay? We don't try to kind of prejudice someone based on their religion or color. And we got all the arrays of color, my friend. Kinky hair, black, light skin, a bit kind of like Arab looking. And it's a big issue, my friend. No one even talks about that, okay? It is when this Europeans, especially these East European immigrant Jewish people from Europe come to our land, they create destabilization. Okay, because this is the norms that they live in their countries, but it doesn't in our country. Okay, so this guy called Tesfatsian Barai was coming with this really amazing idea, nation state, like it's an idea to justify war, to destabilize and disintegrate all this really peaceful mosaic of people culture within our country. And he created that war within each other, eating each other. Okay, so this is nation state, my friend. Okay, it was an idea borrowed from this Jewish Zion thinkers from Israel. I think they were funding him, my friend. Okay, this Benjamin Netanyahu, he must have been funding him. So he created this. That's what he created a fire for 8 years. So I found out how he was making all this irredentism, all this, city state, all that. He was creating that so that he can benefit out of it, make business, name, fame, power. Then, my friend, we get into civil war like Hutus and Tutsis, like Rwanda, my friend, eating each other, millions of people killing each other by machete, my friend. It's not a joke. It's not something you just take a mickey out of. It's not something that you just have a fun. Okay, this is things that the Europeans have built within our society so that we have friction. Okay, so at last, what happens is when we get to the lowest weaker point, they kill us within one shot of a missile. Okay, then all these Israeli Jewish people from the East Europeans in Israel now, which they are being roasted war after war with the whole world, they come to our land, they take over, and they tell you, hey, even the Talmud says people like you are predestined to be slaves, and we, the Israeli Jewish people from East Europe, are supposed to be your masters. Okay, that was what was going on. Okay, so God helping me, my friend. I think I solved that issue, that problem. I think our peace is getting into normality. So this idea about this, we don't believe in war, my friend. That God of war, Yahweh, that belief system. This Weber, my friend, is really amazing thinker, German thinker. His theory, his inspection, his insight, so many years research into all this Hindu belief, all these Baharims, all these business people, into religion, into military power in India. They created that caste system, my friend. They make you believe you being slave is predestined by God. Then you justify and you accept it. Okay, this was what they were trying to implement in our society. Okay, so we have to fight it really hard, not just smoking cannabis and they say Iron Man kind of thing. You have to fight really hard. Fight really hard, intellectually, physically, in everything. Okay, because that's our mosaic of nation, very stable people, my friend, and we cannot afford to lose our identity, our self-confidence, and our land. Okay, I don't think we need all these fancy things, a fast train, fast car, fast airplane. We are happy the way we are, even using mules, my friend, horses, running, bicycles, because we got paradise land, my friend. All these Europeans, they've been running like crazy, my friend. They reach from New York to London within 1 hour, like light speed. What have they reached to? They are crumbling each other. Okay? So nobody wants to have kids. So they are getting into homosexuality, my friend, annihilating themselves because they don't want to have kids, my friend. And you all these Chinese, the Arabs, the Indians, my friend. One man has 100 kids from 10 wives. So they are taking over. Now Europe is waking up. They're scaring the hell out of them. Because you go people, my friend, what's this? Aging society. No one wants to have kids. Very selfish. You just, sleep man with a man. And you create some kind of strange creatures. And European society are dwindling because they don't have any reproduction. No fertility, my friend. All these beautiful women, white, blonde women, my friend. Amazing, they look like horse, my friend. Nobody wants to sleep with them because they're homosexuals, my friend. Hey, you ladies, come to us. We Africans, we love you. You're beautiful, okay? So this is what happened in Europe. So what they do is they create that idea into our nations in Eritrea, my friend. All this systematic thinking. to make us believe that this caste system, like this in India, like, or this Jewish thing, like, it's all about take over, control all these homosexuals. These are the people, man. These are homosexuals. Usually, all these homosexuals, their belief system is really crap, rubbish, kind of. They're weird, very pervertish, man. Okay, so this is like, kind of like, I give you this example: David and him, Jonathan, his boyfriend, in a Talmud. Okay, so they don't have to bring this idea into our land, Eritrea, so that they can take over and make us non-reproducing gay society. Then we get annihilated, my friend. All these Chinese, the Indians, all the people come and take over our land, all these Jewish people, and we become slaves forever. And they justify using their scripture, saying, hey, you are predestined to be a slave. Okay, so this guy, Eritrean guy, Gabriel, okay, he married out his daughter to his Jewish people, my friend. They still chasing you with their girls, like some of them just claim soldiers. Hey, ladies, I'm not interested in you, okay? Give it to other Jewish people. So, my friend, this is how we protect our people, our kids especially. We have to self-empower them so that they get lost. They don't get lost into this maze of control, my friend. In the ancient times, these slave black Africans, my friend, they were traded as a commodity. Money, that was the biggest lucrative business that time. Okay, now still we start facing into this knowledge economy. Okay, they hack you intellectually, your way of thinking, they sell you literally. That's what they try to do with us. We Eritreans, and we have to be extra vigilant, very clever, very assertive, very disciplined. But we have to weed out such kind of self, they try to create this inferiority complex so that they can manage us, so that they become our masters and send us like slaves, like in the ancient times. They create community as if we were like an asset like gold or maybe silver, and they sell it to any East European or maybe to Western countries. That's what's happening, my friend. So I sent you all the information about this brilliant thinker, John Max Weber, his ideas, and career, how politician careers should be, all this patriarchy system, all these charisma leaders, democratization, slavery, God of war, Yahweh, Jewish. So about they live by creating war, otherwise they cannot live, my friend. Okay, so this thinking, we are Eritreans, very peaceful people, my friend. We have our own God of belief, only for us to connect us with God, not control others. Okay, and our thinking, my friend, we don't have to bring another master in our mind. Okay, the first enemy in your life is your mind. You're thinking. When other people give you a virus of thinking in your mind that destroys you, okay, that's what we have to protect it, and we have to empower our kids as well to give all this information, to kind of that's the thing, my friend. We all these Africans, my friend, this idea about emancipation of your mind, your way of thinking, they give us so much weed, slavery, a virus in our thinking, in our mind, and this is what we have to protect, my friend. What we believe in Eritrea is university status in your house, my friend. When you go to universities, Oxford, Cambridge, Yale, they make you more illiterate. They kill you by giving so much junk information, rubbish, wrong assumptions, wrong thinking. Then they destroy you because you don't know it, but they destroy it. This is the kind of thing that we should empower our kids, man. Give them a filtered information so that it empowers them. Nobody just controls them and make them a slave servitude in Europe. Okay, they got land, my friend, massive land, big space, sea, everything, people. So this is the reason why I'm doing every post every day, especially for my kids, man. I work so hard. I fought really hard for 30 years for these people. They were trying to entrap me and make me believe, try to make me a slave, my friend. So I learned life the hard way, okay? And I don't want my kids to go that road as well. And you kids, especially we Eritreans, my friend, okay? This is our responsibility. And thank you. Adios. You have a lovely evening, okay? Bye. a lovely morning.